Nikki Bella has finally spoken out about the financial obligations she's been handed in the wake of her divorce from Artem Chigvintsev, and she isn't sugarcoating her frustration. The WWE icon turned media personality made it clear that people celebrating her situation online are simply misinformed and need a reality check. This all comes after TMZ reported that Nikki and her ex-husband, professional dancer Artem Chigvintsev, had finalized their financial and custodial arrangements. Under the terms of their settlement, Nikki has agreed to pay Artem $3,500 per month in child support for the care and upbringing of their young son, Mateo. That alone turned heads, but the story didn't stop there. Nikki also agreed to pay Artem a total of $200,000 in lump sum payments, half of it up front and the remaining half before the end of the calendar year. The deal has stirred up quite a bit of public reaction, especially from those who interpret it as some form of justice or retribution. Nikki addressed the matter candidly on the latest episode of her podcast, The Nikki and Brie Show, co-hosted with her twin sister, Brie Bella. She opened up about the emotional and financial complexities of her new reality. Despite handing over what she called her hard-earned money, Nikki emphasized that she actually walked away from the deal feeling fortunate. She told listeners that the terms could have been far more demanding, and she came away with what she described as a fair compromise. More importantly, she underscored that the goal of child support isn't punishment. It's about ensuring Mateo has an equal standard of living at both parents' homes. It's a message she clearly wants to drive home, especially for those in the cheap seats throwing shade. As Nikki explained on the podcast, the judge presiding over their case even offered her a notable compliment when finalizing the settlement. The judge remarked that it was the first time they had seen a woman paying support to a man, which served as a testament to Nikki's professional success. That comment wasn't lost on Nikki. It was a reminder of how far she's come in her career, and how her financial contributions are not about gender roles, but about income and responsibility. There's a broader point to be made here. One Nikki touched on in her conversation with Brie. The backlash she's received, particularly from those labeling her situation as a loss or a comeuppance, misses the mark entirely. According to Nikki, these opinions reflect ignorance more than insight. The law is the law, and in this case, the person with the higher income, her, is responsible for contributing more to the child's daily needs. It's not about who's right or wrong in the relationship, or about public narratives of success and failure. It's about Mateo and his well-being. Adding another layer of complexity to their relationship is the history of legal conflict. Last year, Artem was arrested following an alleged domestic dispute, with Nikki claiming that he attacked her. She even filed a restraining order at the time, presenting herself as the victim of the incident. Artem, however, pushed back hard, asserting that Nikki was actually the aggressor and that she fabricated the story to frame him. These are serious accusations on both sides, and though the details remain somewhat murky, the incident undoubtedly played a role in shaping the negotiations that followed. The settlement they reached in November 2024, which was only recently approved by a judge, was the culmination of months of emotional and legal wrangling. But even with all that history, Nikki says she and Artem are now in a good place when it comes to co-parenting. According to her, their primary focus remains Mateo. Despite everything they've been through, legal drama, public scrutiny, financial negotiations, they both understand the importance of being present and supportive parents. Money, while significant, takes a back seat to the emotional stability and care that Mateo needs. Nikki's transparency on her podcast is part of a broader effort to control the narrative around her personal life. In the age of social media, where everyone feels entitled to an opinion, her decision to speak out seems strategic. She's not just addressing the headlines, she's confronting the assumptions and judgments that come with them. For someone who has built a brand on strength and independence, being portrayed as a victim or a failure doesn't sit well. Instead, she's taking ownership of her choices and their consequences. She also used the opportunity to call out those who've been vocal about what they see as her loss in the divorce. From her perspective, there are no winners or losers in this situation, just parents trying to do right by their child. She's proud of what she's achieved and unafraid to stand in her truth even when it's uncomfortable. That resilience has defined her entire career, from her early days in the WWE to her ventures in television, entrepreneurship, and podcasting. Ultimately, Nikki Bella's story is about more than just a celebrity divorce. It's a window into the realities faced by many modern families, ones where traditional roles are flipped and where the best interests of a child take precedence over pride or public perception. She's navigating that reality in the spotlight. And while she may be paying a financial price, she's also setting an example of accountability, transparency, and grace under pressure. As this chapter of her life continues to unfold, one thing is clear. Nikki Bella isn't interested in being pitied or praised for following through on her responsibilities. She's interested in showing what it looks like to co-parent with integrity, even when the road is messy in public. In doing so, she's reminding her fans and her critics that strength isn't just about physical power or financial success. Sometimes it's about showing up, speaking your truth, and doing what's best for someone else, even when it hurts. While many might look at the headlines and assume a narrative based on outdated gender norms or oversimplified storylines, Nikki has taken it upon herself to correct the record and offer a more nuanced perspective. Her emphasis on Matteo's well-being shows a deep level of maturity and prioritization. It's a powerful reminder that behind every celebrity headline is a very real, very human story unfolding. Even more revealing is the way Nikki has spoken about the judge's comments during the settlement hearing. That moment when she was recognized for her success and her role as a primary breadwinner reflects a cultural shift. For decades, the assumption was always that men paid support to women. Now, we're beginning to see a legal and social environment where those assumptions no longer hold. Nikki is a living, breathing example of that shift. She has never shied away from work. From being a top-tier athlete in a physically demanding sport to transitioning into reality TV, brand endorsements, and now podcasting and entrepreneurship, Nikki Bella has always hustled. Her success wasn't handed to her, and her financial obligations now are simply a byproduct of that success. It's not a punishment, it's a responsibility. And she's owning it with the same tenacity that brought her to the top of her career. Beyond just responding to the headlines, Nikki has also been engaging in meaningful discussions about the importance of showing children what a healthy, balanced, co-parenting relationship looks like. She knows that Matteo is watching. She's fully aware that the lessons they teach him now will shape the man he becomes. That awareness drives her commitment to making the co-parenting relationship as seamless and cooperative as possible. Despite the painful history and legal entanglements, Artem, for his part, seems to be working toward the same goal. The fact that the two can stand together in support of their child, despite previous allegations and heated moments, shows that growth is possible, even in the most emotionally charged situations. Their decision to move forward without additional court battles, to settle things amicably, and to focus on what matters most speaks volumes. What this situation also highlights is the public's often skewed understanding of wealth, power, and justice. People cheer when a woman pays support to a man as if it's some rare karmic twist, but those cheers ignore the deeper truths of the situation. Nikki's paying because she can, and because the system is designed to prioritize the child, not to mete out revenge. That Artem benefits financially doesn't make him a villain or a victor. It makes him a co-parent trying to build a secure, loving life for his child, just like Nikki.